Afro. COVID-19. COVID-19 up in this piece. Getting bigger from lifting all these damn refrigerators. Now my clothes don't fit me right. How's everybody doing? You guys want to talk about it? What are they doing in your area? How are the trees? Yeah, let's talk. All right, so they chopping down trees, right? Turn that down. So they chopping down trees in my area, right? I done showed some of the trees in the video I have on Facebook. But some trees, okay, so I saw a video where they had trees on one side, the tree was dead, and that was closest to the 5G tower, right? On the other side, the tree was flourishing, leaves and everything. Now, sometimes trees do that, but on these trees, the bark was stripped. So something is affecting this tree on a molecular level where everything is dying. Now, sometimes trees do this, but the bark isn't stripped. Sometimes just, it just blows in a certain area, and the wind blows in a certain area will strip the tree of its leaves, and the tree will naturally adapt and lean to the other side and get all its nutrients from the other side. Or if a tree is in competition with another tree, dominant tree, the tree will do the same thing. Be like, okay, well, I'm not going anywhere, but there are some trees that actually moved. They're called walking trees. But there are some trees that actually moved. But if the tree doesn't do this, then the tree will lean to one side to get its nutrients because it's being overshadowed by, some oak or something like that. So if a fern tree during the fall, especially, only has, so much flourishing on one side, but on the other side is completely stripped, then there might be a huge oak or something next to it. But in this case, the 5G case, where the bark is stripped, you're like, okay, this is not natural. This is not a competitive thing. The bark is completely being stripped off of this tree, and there's no other tree in competition. So I noticed when this happens, there's usually a tree in competition, but when the bark is completely stripped, there's no, in this case, there's no other tree competition than it is the 5G tower. So, also saw a video where a dude was just like, he worked for these people putting up these 5G towers, and he said, he was on top of one of the towers, and he said it only affects you if you're standing in front of it. So he had a meter, and he put his hand in front of the meter, and the meter went off. And then he took his hand from behind the meter, and the meter didn't go off. So he said, if you're in front of this tower, and you're at this height, which is the same height as a light pole, he said, if you're at this height and you're in front of this tower, then it's a good chance that you'll be infected. But nobody is at this height. So you should, there's just no excuse for you to be affected. So I was like, okay, that's everybody, but that's just not true. It's not true at all. Even if and that's because the way it's just like anything that emits, especially like radio waves. Radio waves don't emit like this, and they they're very linear. They don't do that. Radio waves, when they emit like this. You know what I'm saying? They spread out. So there's waves coming down, there's waves going up. The whole wave is going like this and then going out. So whatever's in the way of that pattern, then guess what? It's going to be affected. So, you know, and that's pretty much what it is. It's a radio wave or a microwave or whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. And that's what's happening. There are people who are being affected by this thing because of the simple fact that it is a radio wave. It's not a some type of linear wave where it's not going to affect anybody who's on the ground, because we see that it's affecting trees. So there we have our answer. Now, somebody's going to try to argue that. I'm not here to argue with you, because guess what I am not? Guess what my profession is not? I am not a professional when it comes to radio waves. I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I'm not. All right? Anyways, so being that I am not the resident expert, sorry, I was doing something, on radio waves, I don't even pretend to know the entirety of radio waves. But what I do know, I mean, there are some things that are just pretty much common sense. Like, wait a minute, I know a radio wave doesn't just go outward like that, and then that's it. We know better than that. So I think that we are being, I think that COVID-19 I think we're being bamboozled. And the amount of deaths. Okay, so here's what I think about the sickness itself. Do I think that there is a sickness out there that's COVID-19? Yes. Do I always think that it was such a thing? Yes. Yeah, I've always thought it was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Always. COVID-19 doesn't surprise me. Not at all. COVID-19 is not a surprise to me whatsoever. What's a surprise to me is the fact that they got everybody to pretty much do what they wanted to in little to no time. I mean, they got everybody to do what they wanted to. It was just interesting how they did this. And it's not like we fell for it. It's not like something to fall for. But we did what our government told us to do. And because we did that, it might hurt us in the short run. We did what we were supposed to do, and it might hurt us that we did this. Now, isn't that messed up? That's messed up. We did what we're supposed to do. We our taxes that we pay, the money that we put into the system. We believe in the system. We believe the system will protect us. We believe in God and country, even though they try to make this a godless country. We believe in God and country. We did what we're supposed to. And it might hurt us in the long run. It might hurt us in the long run. some of you are like, how can it hurt us in the long run? Well, if COVID-19 is not real, well, let me say this. If COVID-19 is real, but it's not what we thought it was, it's not, okay, okay, let me say this. I believe COVID-19 is real. I believe that people are really dying because of it. I believe that a lot of people will have it if they don't already have it. I am a firm believer in that. I believe that COVID-19 not only is a thing, but I believe that it always was. See, I believe it was before all this start, going down. You know what I'm saying? I believe that it was. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, it was always a thing. I believe it's a thing. I believe it always was a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I believe it's a thing. I believe it always was a thing. And, sorry, I'm trying to do three things at once. We have seen things that says COVID-19 on it from a long time ago. So it's no mystery. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. Even though we've seen governments and countries, and we've seen this before. We've seen, okay, so our country, regardless of what we want to believe, was built off of the Roman Empire. Whether you want to believe this or not, you can just still see the Roman influence that is still within our country. We use the Senate, we use their numerical system, we use a lot of things that have to do with the Roman Empire. They have always been a major influence to and for us, and that's what it is. We know that the Roman Empire, on several occasions, would slay their citizens, set their, we know that they would set their own cities on fire. They would murder their own people. We know that this is a thing. This is not a mystery. This is not a secret. We know that it not only hasn't happened, but you can't say in your own mind that you don't think that it wouldn't happen again. You can't say that. Just because you are you who you are, don't be foolish and thinking, oh, it can't happen to me, it can't happen to us. Because the answer is, not only can it happen to you, I would be hard pressed to think that it isn't actually happening to us now. I think it's happening to us. I think that we are being, I think we're being misled. That's what I think. COVID-19 always was. And I think we are being misled. Well, some might argue with that and say, Tom, that's not true. We're not being misled. Our government loves us. Donald Trump would never do this. Power to the people, power to the government. It's all in our heads. COVID-19 has been around, but we're not being fooled. Remember they said there was no COVID-19? Well, that's not the truth now, is it? We found out that that's not the truth. There is a cure for COVID-19. So no, there's no cure. No, there's no cure at all. It's not even close to being true. Being bamboozled, you guys. And for all of you people who think that it can't happen to you because of your money or your race, I think you have to face the hard truth that you have to face the hard truth that all of us, that the real racism is in the tax bracket. You have to face that truth now. And now that they're opening up the country, because there's going to be civil war if they don't. Literally, there will be civil war if they don't open up the country. But now they're going to open up the country at whoever's behest, whoever's request, at I truly don't think they should do this. Or I think if you are one of those people who is involved with the country being open, or you are one of the people who want the country to be open without fully understanding not so much COVID-19, but understanding what the purpose of us all going inside. And I think if you're one of those people who don't understand the whole thing, I don't understand the whole thing, but I think if you're one of these people like myself who don't understand the whole thing, I think that if we venture carelessly, I think that it's going to hurt us more than what it's going to help us. I don't think opening up the country, even though everybody wants to go back to work, I get that. I want to go back to work. I want to go and get a hamburger. I want to take my girl on a date, you know? Absolutely. I get it. Okay, so somebody mentioned the fact that they opened up Atlanta, and they said Atlanta is the blackest city, and they opened it up first. So they're just like, it's a mistake to open up Atlanta Well, not that it's a mistake to open up Atlanta. They said that they're opening Atlanta up on purpose because they want to get rid of the African American people. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that one bit. But I can't say that it's not true. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that the government isn't devious because the Tuskegee experiments, because of AIDS, because we've seen so much death come out of the American government. So, no, I can't sit here and say that, oh, they wouldn't do something like that. No, not at all. Not one damn bit. What I can say is, if you're not thinking outside the box, you can hurt yourself. You can get hurt real fast. Protect yourself by any means. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. That's what I think we need to do. That's what I think we need to do. I think COVID-19 is teaching us that one very lesson. Protect yourself. Because even if the government was so-called on your side, like you think, it's not visible that they're on your side. It's not visible. It's not visible that they're for us. The way they're operating is not visible that the government doesn't want everybody to kill over. It's not visible. What's visible right now, in my eyes, and highly plausible, that there's so much more going on than just this disease. There's UFOs that are becoming apparent. There's a whole fleet of them that NASA isn't telling us about. There's a whole fleet of UFOs have been spotted. A whole fleet of them. There's not one, there's not two, there's a fleet of them that have been spotted. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so I could play Midnight StarCraft now. Anyways, that's what I think. Playing StarCraft. Got a new keyboard. Got a new keyboard, y'all. Want to see it? Isn't it cool? Predator series. Cost me $53 at Walmart. Pretty schwanky. I'm schwanky now. I just want you guys to know that. I have a schwanky keyboard that lights up. I'm schwanky. Excuse me, sir. Mr. Tristan. Excuse me, sir. Your horse and feather. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Does your keyboard light up, sir? Well, sir, it does. Oh, sir, yeah, it does. And what business is it of yours? Well, if your keyboard does not light up, sir, then I'll say, sir, you are you are not of my stock, sir. You are not of my stock. Yeah, my keyboard lights up. Anyway, so we also been hearing that people who've been diagnosed with COVID-19 didn't really have it. Even the government said, the government was like, even though their mics were still on, the government was like, yo, yeah, the percentage we're saying of people who are sick is not really true. The CDC, so basically the numbers have been inflated. It's just like, wait, what? All these numbers have been inflated. The people who they said are dying have not died. But there are people who have died. I myself have had extensive conversations with people who work in the medical field. I got 2 neighbors that work in the medical field. And have a young lady in Washington I know. Works in the medical field. We had a conversation. And she was like, no, there's not. There's people who have it, but there's not a lot of people coming in and falling out dying. So we do know that COVID-19 is a thing, regardless of the fact that we don't know exactly what it is. We only know what we hear. And we know that there are people who have passed away. But some people have passed away from the flu recently. Some people have passed away from pneumonia. Some people have passed away from other cardiovascular situations that isn't or wasn't COVID-19. And so we know the numbers have been inflated. Why come? Because the government, needs us to do whatever they need us to do. Now, I also saw a video where they were talking about martial law. And they were saying that they don't believe that martial law is going to be a thing. Now, everybody thinks that martial law is going to be a thing. Everybody. Everybody thinks it's going to be a thing. And they're not. Do I think martial law is going to be a thing? I think it already is a thing. I think martial law is already in effect. I think we are at what I would call a soft contain. I would say we're contained. I would say it's soft contained. Yeah, that's what this is. It's a soft contain. And I would also say that we are being analyzed and tested to see exactly what the threshold is. I'm also going to say this. For the people coming out and protesting and, let us out, let us go back to work. Some people are coming out armed and doing it. That's a mistake. But coming out and protesting, not so much. But I think they wanted to analyze how long will it take the people to come out and protest? And what kind of protests will we see? Will we see violent protests? Will we see passive-aggressive protests? Will we see any militia come out? Will there be any violence against the leaders, against the police, against, unarmed leaders, unarmed military personnel? Will there be anything like that? Because if there is, then the next time we pull this caper, we already know that we cannot do a soft contain. No soft contain. We already know this. Right now, soft contain. Oh, you want to come out with M16s. Okay. Oh, you want to shoot people. Oh, you shot, you shot a nurse who was just telling you that you should stay at home. Or you shot you showed some type of violence. You had violent tendencies. You bring a baseball bat to a gunfight, which actually really did just happen, and they killed that black man because of it. He had a baseball bat. They had 2 guns. They killed him. He was a threat to their life. They shot him dead. They tased him and shot him dead. Dead. That guy's dead now. The police did this. The police shot a man dead who had a baseball bat. He had a baseball bat. You had 1, 2, 3 cops. You had guns, tasers, everything else. You shot him dead. You shot the man. Did he swing the bat? No, he didn't. You shot him in Walmart. You killed a man who had a baseball bat. You shot him in cold blood. Because a baseball bat is a threat to a police officer, and we're not exactly sure how, but we know that, baseball bat is a threat to a police officer, so they killed a black man. And then some assholes are going, hey, well, he deserved it. Shouldn't have had a bat. Really? Really? The man shouldn't have had a bat? Okay. Anyway, COVID-19, back to COVID-19 instead of the ridiculousness that is the police force and the ridiculous power they have to just murder people. It's just ridiculous. And casually shot the guy. First they tased the guy. First you tased the guy, then you shot him. You tased him first, and then he fell, and then you shot him. First you tased the man, then they just killing black people. How do you do that? How do you do that? How? 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 How do you do that? How? I just don't get it. Anyway, but it happens. God's gonna get you for that. God's gonna get you for that, my nigga. You're not getting away with nothing. Questions. God's gonna get you for that. God will get you for that. I'm having a ball right now. Okay, well, GG. Who are you GGing on? Nigga, for real?